Unlocking the unseen path, rediscovering sacred meaning after your spiritual awakening. I never expected a single dream to change everything. The night it happened, I tossed and turned, drenched in sweat, my heart racing. When I finally fell into a restless sleep, it was as if a curtain had lifted. A blinding light enveloped me, and then, silence so thick you could slice it with a knife. I stood in a vast, endless field, every blade of grass shimmering with energy. A voice echoed from the depths of my mind, calling my name. Come forth, seeker. But here I was, awake in my cluttered room, filled with doubt. A small desk, papers strewn everywhere, each unread book whispering promises I didn't grasp. My phone buzzed relentlessly, but I didn't care. Outside my window, the world continued as usual, cars honking, birds squawking, the smell of rain-soaked asphalt permeating the air. Yet inside, I felt an unshakable urge to explore that field again. Meditation became my refuge. I would sit cross-legged, closing my eyes tight, begging for just a sliver of that brilliance. I could almost hear the rustling of leaves, the soft breath of the earth beneath me. Each sigh of the wind seemed to carry messages, as if nature itself was trying to pull me back to the other side. Days passed, signs appeared everywhere. A butterfly brushed against my cheek, circling me tenderly. A random encounter with a stranger who recited words that struck deep in my heart. But the questions, the questions gnawed at me. What is awakening? Why does it feel so heavy? The world felt both unbearably vibrant and painfully mundane. Friends looked at me with concern, asking what was wrong instead of joining me on this wild quest. Their doubt seeped into my skin. I felt isolated, like a ghost wandering through life unseen. As I turned to the night sky for answers, stars twinkled back, each a distant heartbeat. I wondered if I was the only one being called. Did others feel this pulse? Or was I walking a path forged just for me? What awaited on the other side of awakening? Was I fooling myself with dreams of a sacred meaning, a powerful journey that might end in nothing? I stared into the dark abyss, feeling that familiar tug of the unknown, the thrill mingled with fear. And then, as if answering my silent plea, a flash lit up the sky, a shooting star. Trailing light streaked through the darkness, illuminating everything for that brief moment. Hope bloomed within me, blooming bright and fierce. Yet, as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving me in shadow. Was it just a trick of my mind? Or a message meant for me to decipher? I had to know, but where would this path lead? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The days drifted into weeks, the rhythm of daily life contrasting sharply with the inner storm of thoughts swirling in my mind. I found myself wandering to places I had never noticed before, grappling with the feeling that the world was a tapestry woven with threads of significance just waiting for my touch. Each detour became a pilgrimage. Coffee shops spilled over with life, their patrons devoted to the mysteries of their own lives, yet I felt like a solitary observer sitting on the edge of a vast experience. One such afternoon, while sipping a comforting herbal brew, I noticed a local art gallery tucked between two busy shops. It was an unassuming entrance, framed by ivy and soft yellow light spilling through its windows. An invisible force nudged me forward, and I stepped inside. The gallery was quiet, filled with the smell of oil paint and the dusty scent of forgotten canvases. Artworks adorned the walls, each telling its own story. I wandered through the exhibits, feeling the whispers of emotions radiate from each piece. One painting, in particular, drew my gaze, a swirl of blue and gold, a celestial dance frozen on canvas. Standing before it was an elderly woman, her hair silver like stardust, her eyes reflecting the depth of 1,000 lifetimes. Without preamble, she turned to me, as if she had been waiting for my arrival. "You feel it, don't you? The energy between realms?" Stunned, I nodded. It was no ordinary observation. "You've been feeling like I'm on the brink of something larger than myself," I confessed, my voice a mere whisper. She smiled kindly, a warmth that wrapped around my uncertain heart. "Every artist gives life to those vibrations. You must listen to what resonates in your soul. When you align with that energy, you unlock doors that lead to your true self." Her words reverberated within me, igniting a small fire of understanding. But what if those doors lead to overwhelming truths I'm not ready to face? The most beautiful journeys often tread through shadows. "Embrace the paradox of light and darkness, seeker," she replied, her voice steady and soothing. I stood in silence, the weight of her wisdom settling onto my shoulders. It dawned on me then maybe the fears I harbored were merely echoes of old beliefs, reflections of a reality that no longer served me. As I navigated back through the gallery's corridors, I reconsidered my isolation. Would stepping beyond the veil of my own doubts allow me to connect with others who walked their own spiritual paths? Perhaps awakening was not solely an individual endeavor. I felt a stirring in my heart, an inkling that others were also on the brink of discovery. The elderly woman's parting gift lingered in my mind, urging me to reach out, to connect. I found myself drifting to a community garden that I had passed countless times but never entered. Vibrant flowers danced under the mild afternoon sun, and time seemed to slow. I approached a gathering of hands working eagerly, planting seeds of hope and renewal. Without hesitation, I joined them. There was something reverent about the act, an unspoken bond that knit us together. Laughter floated in the air as we exchanged stories of growth, life's challenges, and the beauty of shared experiences. With every conversation, it felt as though I was reclaiming the pieces of my spirit scattered through doubt and solitude. As dusk approached, casting a golden hue across the garden, I caught sight of a flicker of light from the corner of my eye. It danced among the flowers, a tiny firefly illuminating the night. I felt a swell of gratitude for the adventure I was embarking on, yet uncertainty whispered to me, was I truly ready to explore the depths of my awakening? Was this newfound connection merely a flicker of light in the vastness of my journey, or part of a larger tapestry woven by unknown hands? Only time, I mused, and the echo of my desires would reveal the truth hidden within. Days turned into weeks, and my exploration of this new world began to feel more intentional, more like an awakening rather than mere chance. The garden became my sanctuary. I returned regularly, drawn to the rhythm of nurturing life. Among the flowers, I learned from others about resilience and the sacredness of community. Each seed sown felt like a prayer, each blossom a celebration. The elder woman's words echoed in my heart, embrace the paradox of light and darkness. One afternoon, as the sky washed in hues of fiery orange, I noticed an invitation posted on the garden's community board. Spiritual Circle, a journey into the unseen. A frenzy of curiosity danced within me. Had I been waiting for something like this? I had never participated in anything resembling a spiritual gathering before, but there was an irresistible pull of flickering flame urging me to explore deeper into this invisible realm. That evening, I arrived at the venue, a cozy, rustic space filled with cushions and flickering candles. Soft whispers of conversation filled the air, harmonizing in a symphony of hopes and fears. As I took my seat among a small group of seekers, I felt both nervous and deeply hopeful. The facilitator, a woman with a calming presence and bright eyes, began by inviting everyone to share their intentions for being there. One by one, voices rose, stories of loss, longing, and awakening. As I listened, a wave of familiarity washed over me, the struggles and triumphs echoed my own restless spirit. When my turn arrived, I hesitated but could no longer resist the call to share. I'd been feeling lost, yet on the brink of something profound. A desire to connect not just with others, but with myself. The words slipped out, raw and unfiltered, igniting a wave of understanding that rippled through the room. In the following moments, we engaged in breathwork, guided visualization, and silent reflection. I closed my eyes and entered a space adorned with colors unfamiliar yet exquisite. Visions of interconnected paths unfolded before me, each one shimmering, leading to an unseen destination. The light within them beckoned, urging me to trust the journey. When the circle concluded, an unexpected warmth enveloped me as several participants came forward, eager to bridge the unseen connection we had just forged. I exchanged small tokens of gratitude, two people handing me a handwritten note and a small crystal, as symbols of encouragement. Each interaction echoed a reminder that there were shared experiences in this dance of life, collective threads interlacing even the most solitary of paths. The days that followed were filled with reflections, each meeting at the garden or with my new friends amplifying the questions buzzing in my mind. Were these encounters mere happenstance, or was there a guiding force steering me toward a deeper understanding of my purpose? One evening, as I sat beneath the stars reflecting on our shared experiences, I was struck by a profound insight. Each person I had met carried the essence of their journey, their own trials, triumphs, fears, and awakenings. I was no longer just an observer, I was a participant in this grand tapestry of life. The symbolism of the flickering firefly drifted back to the forefront of my thoughts. Its transience spoke to the impermanence of our existence, yet, amid the darkness comes a moment of clarity. Each light, each encounter, beckoned me to realize that even the briefest flickers could illuminate chaotic uncertainties, and so, I sat with the question enveloping my spirit like the evening air: could these connections, brief and glowing as they were, carry the weight of transformation and meaning? What unseen pathways lay ahead, waiting to unfold, once I fully committed to the exploration of this sacred journey? Each pulse of curiosity ignited something within, an infinite quest restless for discovery. Ultimately, I sensed my personal awakening was but a beginning, a mere threshold to a much larger mystery yet to be unveiled. What awaited me on the path forward? The morning sun broke through the veil of dawn, casting soft rays across the garden, painting each petal with golden hues. I found myself drawn back, as if an invisible thread was weaving me toward the sacred space where growth and introspection blossomed without restraint. Today, however, I felt a shift within me, an eagerness that intermingled with uncertainty as I sought to venture deeper into the subtle wilderness of my spirit. Upon entering the garden, I encountered a new presence among the familiar sights. A middle-aged man with long hair, wrapped in a colorful shawl, sat cross-legged on the ground. His eyes were closed, but the serenity radiating from him was palpable. He seemed to draw in the morning light, celebrating a communion beyond what I could see. I paused, intrigued, feeling the quiet call to connect as warmth invited me closer. "Welcome, seeker," he said, his voice like the rustling leaves in the gentle breeze. "Imomari. I offer teachings from the heart of the earth." Curiosity spilled from me, mingling with the uncertainty that had been my constant companion in recent weeks. "What do you teach?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. He beckoned me to sit beside him. "Listen closely to the language of the unseen. The whispers of your heart can guide you beyond the physical realm. Many chase the tangible wealth, status, achievement, yet the true treasures lie within." As Omari spoke, I felt a calming energy wash over me. He guided me through exercises of connection with the earth, invoking symbols of grounding and nurturing. I learned to visualize roots extending from my body into the grounding soil, embracing the truths of all that had been before me. With each breath, I let go of preconceived notions, sensing the heaviness in my soul begin to lift. There was a rhythmic pulse in the air as we shared this sacred space. Around us, flowers stretched towards the sun, their beauty whispering the vital lesson of growth through struggle. Every plant knows its place and purpose. They surrender to the process of becoming. When you align with your essence, your purpose too will blossom, Omari continued, his eyes catching the light. Those words resonated in ways I hadn't anticipated, tying back to the thread of connection I had begun to weave with fellow seekers during the circle. Yet a question emerged, tread lightly upon the threshold of my conscious mind: how does one discern their true essence amidst the myriad distractions that life offers? It was a thought that hovered as I engaged further in these practices, each session with Omari and my growing circle revealing deeper layers of meaning. The more I surrendered to these teachings, the more I felt liberated from the constraints of my self-imposed limitations. The winds of change stirred on the day of the full moon. The garden erupted in a celebration, the soft glow of lanterns lighting the space as the community gathered once more. This time it felt different. A sense of collective intention enveloped the evening, and the energy was electric in its promise. We sat in a circle, our hearts beating as one, connecting with the divine energy that pulsed beneath our feet. Omari invited us to share our dreams, to speak them into existence as we radiated hope and aspiration into the air around us. When it was my turn, I spoke of my yearning to uncover my purpose, to step into a role that felt authentic and illuminating. The words became more than a request buried in uncertainty, they morphed into a declaration, a seed sown in fertile soil. Each of us comes with a unique light, a voice chimed in from across the circle. Your journey is not meant to mimic another. What revelations await when you embrace your individuality? The realization struck me. My quest was more than a search for meaning, it was an exploration of the uniqueness that resided within me. How could I have overlooked the very essence that gives rise to purpose? As the moonlight flooded the garden, casting ethereal shadows, I felt an indescribable connection to the larger cosmos, a world beyond what my eyes could see. It was the same expansive feeling I had sensed during our earlier gathering, the doors of perception widening once again, filled with a renewed sense of exploration. I sat in reflection, my heart echoing a multitude of questions. What does it mean to embrace my individuality, and how do I stay true to my path when distractions arise? What paradoxes might I need to reconcile as I progress through this unfolding journey? The evening concluded with a prayerful silence, the flickering light of shared intentions illuminating the darkness. And as I gazed at the stars shimmering above, I couldn't help but feel an inexorable pull toward whatever awaited beyond this journey, an unseen mystery waiting patiently to be unraveled. The days that followed the full moon gathering were enveloped in a shroud of contemplation. Each sunrise painted the sky anew, yet beneath its beauty, I sensed an underlying pulse urging me toward further depths. The presence of Omari lingered in my thoughts, his words echoing a truth that had ignited a dormant flame within. Yet, despite this internal glow, I found myself wrestling with doubt. How could I embody the light he spoke of when the shadows of uncertainty still loomed large? In the solitude of my mornings, I sought the garden's refuge, yearning to glean clarity from the very essence of life that surrounded me. One crisp morning, as mist curled lazily through the trees, I encountered an intriguing sight: a cluster of bees dancing collective patterns around a vibrant patch of blossoms. Their diligence captivated me, a vivid demonstration of unity and purpose. Instinctively, I settled onto the soft grass nearby, mesmerized by the rhythmic hum that filled the air. This is the symphony of life. Omari's voice materialized softly from behind me, startling me from my reverie. I turned to find him approaching with an inviting smile. Do you see how they work in communion? Each bee has its role, yet they all strive towards a common goal: the survival of the hive. Just as they do, we each have a unique purpose. What you may perceive as individual struggle is often part of a larger tapestry. As I absorbed his words, a realization unfurled within me. The question that had plagued my mind transformed into a more profound inquiry: how does one discover and connect with their purpose while navigating the collective fabric of existence? Life is not merely a personal endeavor, Omari explained, settling beside me. It weaves us together, shaping experiences that cultivate our growth. The beauty lies in opening your heart to the lessons that arise within your community, allowing the threads of connection to guide you. I closed my eyes, allowing the sounds of the bees to resonate deep within. Each buzz felt like an affirmation, a reminder that I, too, was part of something greater. Yet as thoughts ebbed and flowed, another question shimmered in my mind: was I truly listening? Beyond the surface noise of my desires and fears, was I attuned to the whispers of my own heart? The days drifted like leaves carried by a gentle current. Seeking to deepen my connection with both myself and the community, I engaged more actively. With each encounter in the garden, I opened up, exposing not just my joys but my fears, sharing the burdens of my quest for self-discovery. Each story shared bore a fragment of truth, weaving discourse that transcended personal walls. In one gathering, a woman named Alara spoke of her journey through loss, her resilience blossoming unexpectedly in its wake. It is when we face the darkness that our true essence beckons us to rise, she said, her eyes shimmering with sincerity. It invites us to uncover the treasures buried beneath the surface. Her words ignited a flicker of understanding. The shadows that I had resisted could be teachers in disguise, guiding me toward a more profound comprehension of self. What hidden jewels lay awaiting in the crevices of my own pain and doubt? Sparked by this revelation, I started to explore the sense of discomfort I often brushed aside. I began journaling, pen dancing over paper as I expressed unfiltered emotions, allowing grief and fear to spill forth alongside hope and desire. In this act of vulnerability, I unearthed memories and feelings that demanded acknowledgement. It was during one of these sessions, while reflecting on past relationships, I felt a surge of gratitude mixed with sorrow. Each connection had shaped aspects of my being, urging me to confront parts of myself I'd long buried. Suddenly, the questions of purpose transformed into reflections on belonging. Whom did I genuinely resonate with? What relationships enriched my spirit? As dusk settled upon another gathering, illuminated lanterns flickering like stars come down to earth, I shared these musings aloud. Omari listened with keen interest as I pieced together the tapestry of my life, contemplating connections that sparked my spirit versus those that merely dulled it. It is crucial to filter who and what you allow into your sphere, Omari said thoughtfully. Just as a bee collects nectar, discern what nourishes your soul, and what distracts from your essence. This is the journey of remembering who you are in the presence of others. In the soft glow of the evening, I embraced this notion of discernment. Yet still, questions swirled. What truths might be revealed as I filter through the noise? How might I cultivate relationships that foster authenticity rather than expectancy? As laughter and connection filled the night air, I rejoiced in the warmth of shared purpose and exploration. It felt as if a new layer of my spiritual journey was unfolding. The complexity of self-discovery intertwined with interpersonal dynamics left me with even more questions than answers. The mystery deepened. And as I gazed up at the vast, encompassing sky, dotted with countless stars, each a reminder of the unseen potential waiting to be uncovered, I couldn't help but ponder, what else lies hidden beneath the surface of my being, yearning to be embraced and integrated. In the days that followed, the air thickened with the promise of change. Each moment spent in reflection felt like a brushstroke on the canvas of my understanding. The garden, now a sanctuary of growth and self-exploration, whispered secrets of ancient wisdom as I walked its winding paths. With each footfall, I felt the resonance of those who had tread before me, their insights embedding themselves in my very marrow. One afternoon, while gathering herbs to brew a soothing tea, I stumbled upon a stone in the shape of an eye, intricately marked and weathered by time. Holding it in my palm, I sensed its weight was more than just physical, it felt imbued with stories long buried. I couldn't shake the feeling that this stone, with its peculiar shape and texture, was a type of talisman, urging me to look beyond the facade of my experiences and delve deeper into the unseen layers of my existence. As I journeyed further into this uncharted territory, I began to notice signs from my environment, each more synchronistic than the last. The way the sunlight filtered through leaves, casting patterns on the ground, seemed to mirror the labyrinth of my thoughts. I began to see these manifestations as invitations, urging me to pause and listen. One evening, Omari gathered us around a fire, its flames flickering like the thoughts that danced within me. The warmth enveloped us, and I felt a wave of comfort rush through the group. "Tonight, let us share our visions," he proposed, his gaze encouraging as he scanned our faces. "What does your heart reveal when you dare to embrace the silence?" I hesitated, a whirlwind of thoughts spiraling within. What vision could emerge from the depths of my uncertainties? But as I breathed in the smoky air, I sparked the courage to share my newfound understanding of relation and belonging. My words painted vivid images of my inner landscape, my longings, and my fears. With each revelation, the air grew heavy with resonance. I was not alone. Ilara spoke next, recounting a recent experience in which she had encountered an elderly woman at a market. Their brief exchange had unveiled layers of wisdom, revealing how generational ties hold dormant lessons if only we dare to listen. "Each of us carries a piece of the puzzle," she remarked, "and when we connect, the fragments illuminate a greater truth." Her words lingered in the space between us, igniting curiosity like embers from the fire. What other puzzles lay waiting in the depths of unfamiliar encounters? What stories could shift my perspective radically, allowing for deeper understanding? As the fire crackled and embers floated upward, I closed my eyes, surrendering to an inner journey. I envisioned myself as part of a vast, interwoven tapestry, each thread vibrant and uniquely textured, yet entirely reliant on one another. In that vision, my insecurities morphed into patterns, some beautiful, others chaotic, woven into the fabric of existence, reminding me that my purpose thrived at the intersection of connection and individuality. Hours later, as the fire dimmed to faint glimmers, a quiet realization arose. Embracing the unknown and forging deeper connections would not merely illuminate my path but also redefine the essence of my being. Perhaps this exploration, free of expectation or fear, was a key to unlocking a sacred meaning that lay waiting. In the days that followed, as I ventured back into the garden, the stone still in my pocket, I began to actively seek out new connections. With a heart open to vulnerability, I spoke with strangers in bustling markets, shared laughter with children in parks, and listened eagerly to stories of ancestors during community gatherings. Each interaction was a brush against my soul, coaxing forth bits of the unseen and obscure. Despite this growing awareness, a question lingered, unshakable and tantalizing: how do we discern which encounters carry the potential for profound revelation? How does one navigate the delicate dance between connection and autonomy, ensuring that the path we walk shines with authenticity? As I sat quietly one evening, the stone resting on my lap, I looked toward the horizon. The sun dipped below the edge of the world, casting hues of gold, magenta, and cobalt across the sky. In that moment, a sense of anticipation settled within me, infused with the knowledge that the path ahead remained cloaked in mystery. Perhaps the real beauty lay not in the answers waiting to be unearthed, but in the questions that coax us to explore deeper realms of understanding, questions that awaken the sacred within. What unknown truths still reside in the shadows of my being, longing to be uncovered and embraced? In the days that followed, I found myself wandering deeper into the realm of connection, my senses sharp and my heart open. The garden, once a refuge, transformed into an extension of my spirit, flourishing with possibilities beyond its lush borders. In every corner, I encountered new dimensions of life, each moment rich with the potential for insight. One sunny afternoon, I felt the pull of a distant melody. It danced along the breeze, beckoning me away from my usual path. Intrigued, I followed the sound, which grew sweeter and more haunting with each step. I emerged into a small clearing where the roots of an ancient tree curled protectively around a weathered wooden bench. There, a group of musicians played, their fingers cultivating music that seemed to arise not just from instruments, but from the very earth beneath them. As I sat on the edge of the circle, I felt an electricity in the air, as if the music were a sacred language speaking directly to my soul. The performers' faces glimmered with the joy of creation, each note carrying whispers of stories unseen. I surrendered to the moment, letting the sound wash over me, weaving a tapestry of emotions that swirled within. After the final note echoed into silence, a woman with eyes like deep pools looked directly at me. "Welcome, seeker," she said softly, as if she had been expecting me. "You gathered the courage to listen, but you must remember, every melody has its roots in the silence that precedes it." Her words cracked open something deep within. In reflection, I realized that the silence woven through our lives often holds the richest truths, waiting to surface in the form of unexpected encounters. What was it about silence that resonated so profoundly with the human experience? It was like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, filled with potential yet shrouded in mystery. As we spoke, she shared her own journey, a tale of struggle and emergence, of finding her voice amid the clamor of expectations. With every word, I felt the connection between us deepen, like threads of a tapestry intertwining and reinforcing one another. In that moment, I understood, every story, whether shared or unheard, was a vital strand in the web of existence. Inspired, I left the clearing with a question ringing in my mind: how often do we ignore the silence that cradles our stories, convinced that only sound and action matter? Might there be significance in those pauses, in those quiet moments when we simply breathe and exist? Days turned into evenings as I continued to explore, and I sought silence in my daily routine. I ventured into stillness during my morning rituals, allowing thoughts to surface without judgment. I listened to the world around me, the rustling of leaves, the distant calls of birds, the whispers of life occurring beyond the walls I had once constructed. Through these reflections, I began to see my own narrative unfold. A vision formed in my mind. I was not merely a spectator, but an active participant in the creative process of existence. Each moment, each interaction, became a note in a grand symphony, with silence acting as the backdrop, a profound reminder of our shared humanity. Oftentimes, I encountered other seekers, souls yearning to uncover their own truths. Together, we formed circles of sharing where stories painted our shared destinies. I listened intently as they spoke of their losses and triumphs, their fears and breakthroughs. In their eyes, I found fragments of my own journey, each diverse yet connected, leading me to a deeper understanding of my place within the infinite. But even amidst these connections, a lingering question gripped my heart: how do we navigate the balance between embracing the silence that nurtures insight and the noise of life that clamors for our attention? How do we ensure that we remain attuned to the unseen, to the soft murmurings of the spirit, while participating fully in the vivid world that surrounds us? One twilight, as I sat beneath the stars, the stone resting once more on my lap, I looked up at the vastness of the universe, a tapestry of light stretching infinitely before me. Each twinkle mirrored the potential of each moment, each silence waiting to be filled with connection and discovery. I realized that the dance between stillness and engagement is perpetual, coexisting and entwining, casting vibrant shades of understanding into the fabric of our lives. What truths are yet to be revealed in the silence of my heart, urging me to delve deeper into the unseen path, a path that promises to redefine my very essence. The night spent beneath the stars became a sanctuary, and I found myself drawn back time and again to that open sky. Each time I lay there, the silence transformed, revealing secrets hidden in the depths of the universe, begging for exploration. I began to recognize patterns, subtle vibrations in the air, moments of stillness that felt pregnant with potential. It was during one of these starry evenings that I encountered a new revelation. Enveloped in darkness, I noticed an unusual light dancing among the trees at the edge of the garden. Intrigued, I decided to investigate. As I approached, the light took on a tangible form. Glittering orbs swirled playfully around a figure clad in flowing white robes. The figure, radiant and ethereal, was a luminous presence that carried an aura of peace and wisdom. "Welcome, seeker of the unseen," the figure responded, a soft smile illuminating their face. "I am but a guide on your journey, an echo of the wisdom that resides within you." Their voice resonated with a cadence I had never encountered before, drawing me into a deeper state of awareness. Unable to contain my curiosity, I asked, "What does it mean to seek the unseen, and how do I embrace this path?" With each word, the guide unfolded layers of insight. "The unseen is not merely the absence of light," they began, "but the deeper realities that lie beneath the surface. The stories, intentions, and energies that shape your experiences often remain concealed until you choose to explore them. Like the silence we spoke of, you must delve into the void of your existentia realm where ideas ripple, waiting for your conscious attention." That I felt a surge of energy course through me, igniting a recognition of my own role as a creator of meaning in my life. As I ventured further into this new understanding, I felt the air thicken with possibility. The unseen was calling me to peel back my layers, to look beyond the immediate world and dive deeper into my essence. Do not fear the darkness that holds uncertainty, the guide continued, their eyes sparkling with ancient wisdom. "Embrace it. It is a fertile ground for growth. Like the roots of the trees, the unseen is where you will find nourishment and strength. Trust that it will lead you closer to your true self." With that, the guide gently pointed toward the heavens, where the constellations shimmered with stories untold. I managed to ask, "How do I trust the unseen when my mind often questions, when the world seeks clarity and certainty?" The guide smiled, their form flickering like the stars above. "Trust emerges from experience when you allow the silence to teach you and when you release the urge to control every outcome. The unseen may disguise itself in uncertainty, yet every moment of doubt is an invitation to embrace faith." Cradled in the arms of the universe, I began to understand that faith wasn't the absence of questioning, it was the embrace of the unknown. How often had I let fear stifle my curiosity? I realized that the more I sought clarity, the more distant I drifted from the richness of my own journey. As dawn began to break, casting gentle light over the garden, I breathed in the awakening world around me. The guide shimmered like a mirage, almost intangible, reminding me that true spiritual growth comes not from answers, but from how deeply we engage with the questions. That I returned to my stone, still warm from the earth, filled with an immense sense of purpose and wonder. I contemplated the luminous dance of the unseen, its enticement, its mystique, the stories hidden in every shadow. Was the path I was on simply a series of searching steps toward someone I had already been within? With these reflections stirring in my heart, I couldn't help but ponder a new question that now felt essential: what unseen truths, waiting patiently in the silence of my soul, are yet to be unearthed as I continue my journey? As the first rays of sunlight spilled over the horizon, I remained cradled in the soft embrace of the earth, a newfound warmth radiating through me. The ethereal guide's presence lingered in my thoughts like the morning mist, offering both comfort and a gentle push to venture deeper into the mysteries yet to be revealed. In the days that followed, I continued to seek the solace of my garden sanctuary, finding magic in the mundane. Each evening, as darkness wrapped around the world, I returned to the stars, but now carried within me the weight of curiosity, the yearning to excavate the essence of my being. My heart beat with an insatiable desire to unravel the threads that wove through the fabric of my life. One twilight, while lost in contemplation beneath the celestial canvas, I noticed a shimmer at the edge of my vision. An iridescent mist clung to the air, swirling hypnotically. Drawn to it, I stepped closer, and as I did, the mist coalesced into the form of a small, delicate creature, its wings glinting like facets of a diamond. Ah, the dreamer awakens. It chimed, its voice like the tinkling of bells. I am a messenger of the unseen. I am here to draw out the dreams buried within you. Unsure yet intrigued, I asked, how can dreams be buried? Aren't they simply fancies of the mind? The creature fluttered closer, its eyes twinkling with mischief. Not just dreams of the night, dear seeker. The dreams of your heart and spirit can become lost amidst the noise of expectation and obligation. They shimmer below the surface, waiting for you to claim them. With this revelation, I felt a rush of memories longing to be acknowledged. I recalled the echoes of laughter that once filled my soul, the wild and free visions of my childhood that I had tucked away in the annals of practicality. Dreams of creating art, of exploring distant lands, of embracing every facet of existence as an adventure. The creature nudged at this realization. Now is the time to unearth them, it encouraged. Gather the dreams that call to you, and let them weave into your reality once more. You must be courageous enough to embrace them, even when they whisper from the shadows. What if I stumble while chasing these dreams? I asked, a tinge of doubt creeping in. What if I am not enough? The creature danced through the air, leaving a trail of shimmering light that pulsed in synchronization with my heartbeat. Every stumble is a lesson, every setback strengthens your resolve. It's not certainty that you seek, it's the experience that brings you closer to the core of who you are meant to be. Remember, even the stars have their dark nights. As the creature's words washed over me, I felt my spirit untangling from the constraints that had bound it. There was an unparalleled sense of liberation in acknowledging that the path toward fulfillment is not linear nor devoid of challenges. It is a blend of ups and downs, of light and shadow. The unseen truths I now pondered were the dreams I had left dormant within the confines of a structured existence. In the silence that followed our exchange, I closed my eyes and envisioned the dreams I wished to rekindle, the brush strokes of vibrant colors bringing to life my untold stories, the adventure of wandering new terrains with childlike wonder, and the wisdom gained through the laughter and tears shared with kindred spirits. The creature's presence faded, leaving behind a linger of magic in the air. And as the moon began its ascension in the night sky, illuminating the world with its silvery glow, I realized I had not merely peered into the unseen, I had begun to reclaim my voice within it. Yet a lingering question hovered in the depths of my mind. What dreams have been silently waiting for me to breathe life into them, and how will the embrace of these dreams transform my journey forward? The journey had unfolded like a vast tapestry, each thread interwoven with the colors of experience, loss, hope, and discovery. Standing amid the blooming flora of the garden, bathed in golden light, I sensed I had come to the heart of my awakening, a moment that stretched into eternity. My soul swirled with an energy I had only glimpsed before, a vibrant understanding that all I had traversed had led me to this precise instant, the whispers of the garden surrounded me, an orchestra of nature playing the symphonies of life. I took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of existence reverberate within me. Just as the flowers opened up to the sun, unfurling their beauty to the world, I realized I too had started to unfold, shedding layers of self-doubt and embracing the light within. That I thought of the firefly, the shimmering presence that had illuminated my path when I felt as if I were wandering in darkness. And while its flicker had been brief, it left an indelible mark, a reminder that even the smallest gestures of light could brighten the depths of uncertainty. My heart swelled with gratitude as I reflected on each encounter that had shaped my spirit, each lesson whispered softly in moments of stillness, but still, a lingering question fluttered within me, urging to be answered. What profound meaning awaited when I fully embraced the depth of my dreams? With a newfound clarity, I understood these dreams were the lifeblood of my journey, the threads that would weave my unique story into the world. I could no longer ignore their call, nor the whispers of my heart that had beckoned me into the unseen. The following days unfolded a dance of intention and creation. I finally dug into the dreams that had once seemed impractical: painting, writing, exploring, and connecting. With each brushstroke, every crafted word, I poured fragments of myself into the canvas of existence. I began hosting gatherings in the garden, inviting seekers to explore their own dreams and share their journeys toward meaning. We wove tales under the stars, laughter intertwining with the gentle rustling of leaves, each moment filled with a palpable energy of community and growth. Time became fluid, and with every gathering, I bore witness to transformations not just in myself, but in those who sought the solace of connection and intention. Together, we cultivated a garden of dreams, each flourishing amidst the chaos of life. In the eyes of others, I found reflections of my struggles and triumphs, a profound understanding blossoming that we were indeed interconnected threads in a greater narrative. As the moon shone brightly one evening, I gathered with my fellow seekers, the air thick with anticipation. We encircled a small fire, the flames dancing like our spirits, alight with purpose and possibility. When my turn arrived, I shared the essence of my journey, the dreams I had embraced and the lessons I had learned along the way. It was a tale of vulnerability, each word a testament to the beauty of rediscovery amidst shadows and uncertainties. As I spoke, a realization washed over me. His was not merely my tale, it was a manifestation of every heart that dared to seek its true essence. We were each carrying pieces of a shared dream, a collective yearning to connect, create, and discover meaning beyond the confines of unfulfilled expectations and ordinary existence. In that moment, surrounded by kindred spirits, I knew I had uncovered an illuminating truth. The unseen path is not just a personal journey, it thrives in the tapestry of connection, with hearts intertwining in pursuit of their purpose. Our dreams, no matter how whispering or grand, resonate with one another, creating waves of impact that ripple through the fabric of life. As the flames flickered and the stars twinkled above, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace settle within me. I was finally ready to embrace my place in this vast cosmos, an intricate dance of light and shadow, a sacred unity with others who walked beside me, and so, I surrendered. I surrendered to the unknown, to the mystery that life unfolds with each breath taken. I released the need for control and certainty, choosing instead to embrace the paradox of existence, to celebrate the seen and the unseen, the answers and the questions. I realized my journey was one of constant transformation, and I was a catalyst in this grand unfolding, painting the canvas of my reality with colors both bold and delicate. In the stillness that followed, a profound awakening emerged, a whisper that urged me to reflect. Life is a sacred dance, a journey of exploration that leads us through both light and shadow. As we embrace our dreams and each other, we weave a tapestry that resonates deeply with the universe's rhythm. It is in our joining together that we bring forth meaning, illuminating the unseen in both ourselves and those around us. And as I gazed into the flickering flames, a surge of gratitude washed over my spirit. I understood that within the tapestry of existence, every moment contained the seeds of awakening waiting to blossom. I am but a thread in this intricate design, and my light, when shared, has the power to ignite the hearts of others journeying alongside me. With a heart brimming with love and possibility, I whispered my vow to the universe, to honor the dreams residing within, to nurture the connections that enrich my spirit, and to walk boldly into the dance of life, trusting that each step on this unseen path reveals a sacred meaning waiting to be discovered. In the depths of silence, I found the truth. the journey is not just about awakening my own spirit, it is an infinite dance of lifting others into their own light, together weaving a magnificent tapestry of existence. I am both a seeker and a guide, a dreamer and a doer, forever embraced in this beautiful journey called life. And so, I smiled, knowing I would continue to seek, to share, and to illuminate the unseen, understanding that the deepest truths often lie in the silence between dreams.